My Pittsburgh Steelers take on the Indianapolis Colts this week. We are on the road, third road game of the season out of 4, and I'm expecting some interesting things this game. I am excited that the Steelers have been doing well, doing all the things they need to do. It feels like the defense looks really great. The offense is slowly coming along. They did some things last game where I was super excited, and obviously I made a video and I was like, I am so proud of them because I feel like they're growing and they're evolving and they're starting to do some things, and I'm super excited about that. The other thing I want to say before I get into the other side of this, as some of you know, I did a 32 fan series this summer. I'll make sure to pin it at the top here. In the 32 fan series, I talked to a fan from every single team across the NFL. And so what I'm going to make sure that I do when I make these videos moving forward is that I include a link at the top to the conversation I had for the team that we were going to play, just so you can see how the fan was assessing their team in the offseason. Now, obviously the season has started. Things have changed a little bit, maybe or maybe not. But I do want to just let everybody know that I will start plugging each fan that I talk to in these videos to just make more sense of kind of like my assessment and some things that I'm doing. So let me just get into the video and talk about my Steelers. First and foremost, I'm in yellow, so here we go, right? Like, I'm dressed in costume, I'm dressed in team colors, I'm in the team spirit and all of those things. So I am excited for this matchup for Pittsburgh. I have been on record as saying I think the Steelers' schedule is very tough this year. I think that they are doing some things that I wasn't expecting them to do, but they look solid and they look consistent. And I love consistency. And so right now, I feel like I have kind of a good picture as to what to expect. I feel like historically, we're going to have a Steelers team that has a really good defense and an offense that we're hoping that continues to come along. In a perfect world, by week 10, 11, 12, our offense would actually start to compete with our defense for being the best unit in the game, in the best unit in Pittsburgh. But again, we're not there yet, so we're going to ride the coattails of our defense, and we're going to hope our offense takes care of the ball and comes along. So having said all of that, here are the 3 things that I'm going to be focused on for this game this week. The first one should come as no surprise. It's going to be stopping the run again. So last week we were able to stop the run against J.K. Dobbins. This week we're going to go against Jonathan Taylor. And again, our goal should be to stop the run. The Colts have a really good interior offensive line. And so the Steelers obviously have to make sure to maintain their gap integrity and do all the things, and they have to be able to stop the run this game. I think if we can stop the run, just like usual, if we stop the run, then we will turn the Colts into a passing team, which will lead me to my second thing. But before I get on to that, I want to commend our defense so far for being able to stop the run, for holding last week J.K. Dobbins to 61 yards. That masterful. I hope to see the same thing happen this week. The second thing I'll get into, and I'll say that I'm going to be paying attention to, is can we rattle Anthony Richardson? The thing about Anthony Richardson is he has been a pillar of inconsistency. He has been extremely inconsistent. It's like one moment you'll see a play and you're like, oh my gosh, that is phenomenal. And then the next time you'll see his possession and you're like, what the hell was that? And so I'm very curious to see how the Steelers team confuses Anthony Richardson. I'm very interested to see how the Steelers step up and play against Anthony Richardson. And I want to see if they can rattle him. Obviously, I'll probably say this in every video. I hope we can get a holding call. I hope they don't allow the Colts to hold TJ Watt. So I'll just leave that where it's at. But I'm going to be fascinated to see, can the Steelers disrupt Anthony Richardson and make him make mistakes? And if they can make him make mistakes, and if they can get some turnovers, I like our chances in this game. The other thing is, I will say, even if he doesn't turn the ball over, but we're able to limit his abilities and we can stop the run, I still like our chances in this game. The third thing I'll say is a little bit of old school football, what I like to call a little bit of Steelers football, is can we get our run game going and able to open up the pass? And so I feel like for me, when I'm watching the Steelers, I'm going a lot to about back to basics in a lot of ways. Like I want us to do the little things right. I want us to take care of the football. I want us to have smart play calling, and I want us to be very strategic about what we're doing. And historically, over the past 3 games, I feel like we're slowly starting to come along. And the thing that has happened is the Steelers have been able to run the ball effectively, and that has helped Justin Fields. And so that is something I'm going to be looking for, is to see if we're able to get that run game going. I think Mike Tomlin is not going to announce a starter. I could be wrong. I think it's probably will be announced on Saturday or something like that, because that's what Mike Tomlin does. He does what he wants to do, and I respect him for that. But if it's Justin Fields, we've kind of seen what we're going to do with him. We've seen the progression. We've seen how we've gotten going. And so I'm very curious to see, can we run the ball effectively against this Colts defense? Because statistically, if you fall into the statistics of this, statistically, the Colts have not been able to stop the run effectively. Last week, they played Chicago. Chicago, I don't know why they didn't run the ball. I don't know what their game plan was, but it just didn't work out. So I hope that this week, the Steelers are able to focus on their game plan and actually execute on things that make sense based off what the Colts' limitations are. So having said all that, it should be no surprise that I'm picking the Steelers to win this game. I think we have the better team, and I think we're more equipped to handle this, and I think our quarterback play is better. And like I said before, though, I feel like I said this last week, if we can stop the run, if we don't allow Jonathan Taylor to get going, I hope I've been calling him Jonathan Taylor this whole time and not Jonathan Brooks, because Jonathan Brooks went to Texas. So I hope I've been saying Jonathan Taylor. If I haven't, I'm sorry. But Jonathan Taylor, if we can prevent Jonathan Taylor from getting going, from having a good game, I think we're in business. And let's just pray to whoever you pray to that they do not allow the Colts to hold our defensive line the whole game. That would be fantastic. So I'm picking the Steelers to win this game. I'm picking the Steelers to go 4-0 this game. I do want to be on record and say, historically, these are the games the Steelers lose. The games that the Steelers are supposed to win, the games that it looks like they have everything figured out, the game where it looks like they're going into this and everything's clicking and everything's firing, this is historically the type of games the Steelers have lost. So for me as a fan and for my trust issues, it's going to be really important for me to see the Steelers come out and win this game. It will make them 4-0. They will be 4-0 in the AFC. They will be doing all the things they need to do, because we all know the back end of the schedule is brutal. And if you can go in and you can win 3 out of 4 games that are on the road, winning your 1 home game, stopping the run, defense looking great, I think we're on to something here. But like I said before, this is historically one of the games where the Steelers kind of have a moment and I'm like, what the hell was that? So let's hope I'm not gearing up for that. Let's just hope that that's not going to happen, because I cannot. I just cannot. So I just wanted to mention that, but I cannot. So at the end of the day, Steelers should win this game. I'm rolling with my team. I have no reason to not roll with them. And I would just also want to give another shout out to Roderick Jones and Justin Fields, because I respect everything they're doing and all the work they're putting into this. And as I always end my Steelers video, here we go.